Thank you, Todd. Good evening, everyone. When you think of a master negotiator, who do you imagine?
Look
What are they
myself.
like? Sorry, what did you say?
Look myself.
Like yourself. Well, I disagree with you. We're going to get to that. For the longest time, when I thought of a master negotiator, I would imagine someone like Harvey Specter from Suits, Bobby Dylan from Practice. You guys remember that show? Someone who's good with their words, someone who's fearsome, someone who strikes fear in the hearts of other people, someone who's quick on their feet that can mesmerize people and leave them feeling completely tongue-tied. That is how I always imagined a master negotiator. And then I read a book that was actually written by an actual master negotiator, and I realized I was completely wrong. This guy was the head of the hostage negotiation unit for the FBI, and eventually he went on to do negotiation consultancy for the corporate world. This guy truly was the master in negotiations. He taught me how everything that I imagined was so wrong. Being a good negotiator isn't about winning. Being a good negotiator isn't about striking fear in the opponent's heart. It's not about leaving them tongue-tied. Being a great negotiator is about making the other person feel comfortable, making them feel safe, making them feel like they enjoy dealing with you. They're looking forward to working with you. You want them to feel safe and comfortable. If they think that you're winning, you're not winning. If they don't even think about you, that's when you know that you're winning. Now, how can you actually put this into practice? A couple of things that I learned while reading the book. The first one, embrace the no. This was something that I used to do the opposite of. I hated hearing no. The idea of asking someone for something and having them tell me no scared me so much that I would not even ask them. And if I did work up the courage to ask them and they said no, I would just stop. I'd be like, okay, sorry I asked, and I would just walk away. I learned from this master negotiator that hearing no is a good thing. When someone says no, they're not bullshitting you, they're being honest with you, they're being real. And hearing the no is a starting point of the negotiation. So instead of running away from it, embrace it. Try to bring it out as soon as possible. And as soon as you hear it, know that that is when the negotiation has truly started. A little example that I'm going to use throughout my speech, something loosely modeled and something that happened to me. Imagine that you're up for your annual performance review, you hear the annual performance review, and he gets to the end of it, he's like, oh, Rajiv, you're doing a great job, everything's great, blah, blah, blah. And you're thinking to yourself, like, am I going to get a raise this year? I've been here for a year, this is a performance review, am I going to get a raise? For a long time, I would not even ask anything, because it's like, what if I ask and he says no? That would scare me. This time I actually did raise the issue. I said, hi, that was all great. I was wondering about my wages for the next year. Is there going to be any change? And he said to me, no. Flat out, no. The old me hated hearing that. The new me appreciates the fact that now the negotiations can begin. One of the first things you want to do to make the person feel comfortable is to make them feel heard. Everyone in the world wants to feel heard. They want to feel as though you're listening to them and you understand them. Now, this sounds obvious, right? But how many of us actually actively listen to the other person? How often are you looking at your phone, looking off in the distance, kind of thinking about something else, waiting for your turn so you can say something different? That is not listening. Active listening is about giving the other person 100% of your attention. And when they're done, when they finish their thought, a really good way to demonstrate that you're listening to them is to mirror what they just said to you. One very simple thing that anyone can do, just repeat back to them the last couple words they said to you. Or if you want to take it a little bit more advanced, paraphrase what they said to you. So, it sounded to me like you're saying you don't have much room in your budget for a raise. Yes, that's right, I don't have much room in the budget. It's out of my hands, it's coming from above. Okay, it sounds to me like it's coming from above, it's kind of out of your hands. It's like, yes, that's right. We're facing severe budget cutbacks, we don't have room for anything. Okay, it sounds to me like you don't have any flexibility at all. Actually, well, I do have some flexibility, but I have to justify everything that I spend, I would say everything. Okay, so it does sound like you have some flexibility. Notice how I didn't really add anything to the conversation. I just mirrored what the other person said back to them, and A, they felt heard. They felt like you're listening to them, you're giving them attention. And B, they feel like they can continue talking. And when they continue talking, they reveal information that you can then use later in the negotiation. Active listening and and mirroring back to them. It can take you a long way. The next thing that I was really afraid of, trying to get into the negative parts of the negotiation. I used to hate the negative stuff. I'd always want to stay on the positive stuff, stay on the good side, stay away from the minefields. What I realized while reading this book is that when you stay away from something, when you make something taboo, you're giving it more power. On the other hand, when you bring it into the conversation, when you talk about it openly, when you acknowledge it, you don't have to justify it. You don't have to agree with it. When you just acknowledge it, you take away its power. An example that happened to me in my personal life, I went on a ski trip with someone, and a friend and I, we told ourselves we were going to go for a hike the next morning. Turns out she woke up much earlier than me. I woke up much later. By the time I got up, everyone else was gone. She was sitting there waiting for me. We were like, okay, hey, let's get going. And she was just silent the whole time. She wasn't talking to me. She wasn't really engaging with me. And I said to her, hey, are you feeling annoyed because you wasted your morning waiting for me? She was completely not expecting that. She thought we were going to beat around the bush and it's always going to lurk there. But by bringing it out in the open, by acknowledging that she was feeling upset and talking about it, it took away all the power. First, she denied that she was upset, and then she acknowledged that she was slightly upset, and then she acknowledged that we never actually made plans, so maybe she should not be upset. Within 10 minutes, the whole thing was behind us, and we had moved on. Don't try to stay away from the taboos. Bring them out in the open so that you can move forward from them. Once you've done that, the next thing you can do is to ask a lot of questions. Can I just acknowledge one thing, by the way? I do have notes in my hand. Just acknowledge that right now and move forward. Ask questions. Now, don't ask accusatory questions. Ask questions to bring them on your side. Make your problems their problems and ask them to help you solve the problems. My rent is going up this year. How am I supposed to pay for that? How am I supposed to explain to my family that I'm not getting any raise at all? How am I supposed to cope with the fact that everything is getting more expensive? You're not asking these questions to accuse the other person. You're asking these questions to help that person understand the situation you're in. Invite them to solve your problems for you, and they will want to be on your side. They will want to help you out. And lastly, appeal to their better nature. We all like to, save money. We all want to be good negotiators, but at the same time, we all want to feel good about ourselves. And so help the other person feel like they are doing a good thing. Help the other person feel like they are elevating themselves by helping you. Is there anything wrong that I did to make you not want to give me a raise? Are you not happy with me in any way at all? That really cracked him open. He immediately said, no, Richie, you've been doing a great job. It's really been great. I've really enjoyed working with you. Appeal to their better nature. Tell them you enjoy working with them. Tell them that you're looking forward to the partnership together. And they will want to make this a partnership. They will want to make this a mutually beneficial transaction. Let me just leave you with one last thought. When you think of a master negotiator, I always used to think of someone with the eye of a tiger, the heart of a lion, someone who's fearsome and scary. But consider this, lions and tigers are endangered. They've been almost wiped out by humans, precisely because we're afraid of them. You know what animal is not endangered? Dogs. They just sit around at home, under our roof. They sleep all day, they play all day, they wait for us to feed them. And when they poop, who picks it up? We do. Dogs get everything from us for nothing. And you know why? Because they love us. They make us feel special, they make us feel heard. And because of that, we will do anything for them. So the next time you're negotiating, don't try to be a lion, don't try to be a tiger. Channel your inner dog. Thank you.